Gonna be interesting. Why don't we jump into our next topic here? You want to pick another headline one?
Sure.
How about the controller? Want to talk about the controller?
Yeah.
This thing looks sick.
It's very cool.
Look at this thing.
Microsoft announces the Proteus Controller. Microsoft has announced the Proteus Controller, a modular controller with swappable faceplates and customizable components for gamers with various mobility issues. The cube-like modules can be snapped together in countless different configurations. Its buttons are remappable, and its analog sticks can be swapped out for 3D printed sticks with custom grips. And those several files for these sticks are available on BioWave's website, bio with a BYO. So I'm going to share this now. So they're showing right here, we are open sourcing the mechanical connection mechanism for the Proteus controller. This will allow you to 3D print different components such as handles, analog sticks, mounts, whatever you can think of. Here are some examples of downloadable files.
Man, show some of these. These are cool.
And these are sick. So it goes from like just fairly standard concave top analog stick to ball grips, XL rest. That's super cool. So for chins or elbows, so you can control a joystick more easily and hopefully more comfortably. Ridge cap analog sticks, a thin grip analog stick, which could be very interesting because if you notice how it tends to flare, you might be able to attach something to this. So you could move in like a different plane, but have it adjust a joystick, which is very cool. Control grip analog caps and square head analog sticks. And by open sourcing the mechanism, they're making it so that not only are they making these files able to be downloaded and others able to be downloaded later, but you should be able to design your own as well, which is very cool. Because as far as my understanding goes, that community is kind of all about customizing, so being able to 3D print and design your own is probably going to be a pretty big deal. Super
cool. And with the way that 3D printing materials are changing, like it's not like this has to be made out of just standard PLA. Like you could make them actually comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, with like multi-material printing.
Soft
so
touch.
So you can have, a nice stiff shaft, and then you can have like a softer end cap. And man, it's one of those things that Microsoft just, I feel like doesn't get enough attention for. The fact that they do this kind of thing. I mean, look, they're a soulless corporation. Let's treat them as what they are. Any company with shareholders at the end of the day is going to look out for its bottom line first. We know that. But can you grow up?
I'm trying to hold it in here too.
So your Dan laugh in the background is not helpful.
Both of you, get your shit together.
Oh man. Anyway,
so the point is, they're a corporation, but I feel like this is the kind of thing that when they do, we should be paying a lot of attention to. We should be giving them a lot of praise for.
Absolutely.
Because realistically, this makes no commercial sense. The development of this, it's not going to pay for itself.
No. Yeah.
This is legitimately about enabling gamers. And that's super cool. I love it.
Yeah, and to note as well, this doesn't replace the adaptive controller. The adaptive controller is wicked cool. And honestly, I could end up seeing a lot of setups that end up using both.
Absolutely.
The one problem that they're running both is just that it's going to be fairly costly. This Proteus controller costs about $300. It's on sale right now, actually. If you go to buy it, I think it's 15% off right now. Let me see really quick. Yeah. So it's 15% off right now, but it'll theoretically be $300 long run USD. But that kind of makes sense because it's very complicated. I think the Xbox adaptive controller, while being super cool, is a little bit more basic. This is a fairly complicated controller, but I like seeing stuff like this. Like you said, it's unlikely to make a ton of money.
It doesn't excuse buying up game developers and closing them.
Yeah,
that's lame.
But we can hit them for that and also praise them for this.
Yeah, because this is great. This is like the opposite. This is like the opposite of that. This is making gaming more accessible and friendlier. Yeah, which is something gaming needs sometimes.
Something on the other end of this, if you're like, this sounds cool, but it's not applicable to me. On the other end of this, in my opinion, I'm surprised that especially people on the pro scene don't find more use out of things like the Proteus controller and the adaptive controller, because if you are able to enhance the inputs that you have by making it so that you can introduce your feed or something else.
Yeah, or we, bringing back our old concept of clinch to prone.
Yeah. I was wondering, you could make that work with the adaptive controller.
You very likely could.
Yeah. But I especially for games that have a huge amount of inputs, I'm a little bit surprised you don't see more utilization of these just for like making you more competitive.
Yeah.
So consider that as well.